Nigeria is at risk of being sacked by the Egmont Group. I will explain what Egmont Group does, why they are particularly not happy with Nigeria, and the implication of Nigeria's expulsion from the group. For those who haven't been following the story, Egmont Group is a global financial intelligence gathering body made up of 156 financial intelligence units, FIUs, representing 156 countries. In July 2017, Nigeria was suspended by the Egmont Group for not making the Financial Intelligence Unit domiciled in the EFCC independent. And in case you are wondering how this will affect you or Nigeria as a whole, MasterCard and Visa credit and debit cards may be blocked. That's a possibility. It could also affect the international rating of Nigerian financial institutions, restricting the country's access to some huge international transactions. Nigeria will also no longer be able to benefit from financial intelligence shared by the other member countries. The country's ability to recover stolen funds abroad will also be affected. There is a bill seeking to make NFIU, currently under the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, totally independent, but there seems to be some roadblocks. Let's get clarification now. I have the chairman of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, Senator Chukwuka Utazi. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks, Senator, for joining us on the program. What exactly is the situation of things right now? On the 11th of March, we understand that these communities will be meeting in the Egmont Group, and perhaps there might be a strong sanction against Nigeria.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here, Shaun. I want to say that it is on record that the Senate of the Federal Republic, in July, following the suspension by Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units, meeting in Macau between July 2nd to 7th, suspended Nigeria. And they said that the suspension is as a result of the repeated failure of Nigeria to stop releasing confidential information bordering on suspicious translation report details and creating open for people to abuse the Egmont secure web. Because of that, they suspended, and they said that also the independence, the operational independence of Nigerian FIU is not there. There's interference by the EFCC in the activities of the staff first and the total running of that body. And because of that, they said that Nigeria has to be suspended. And helping that, if we put our acts together, we can come back, they can lift the suspension. But failing which, we are going to be expelled. And they are meeting on between 11th to 16th of this March, which is from Sunday, from last Sunday of 11th to 16th. They are going to meet. And if we do not do anything between now and then, totally we are going to be expelled from the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units. And like you said already in your opening remarks, we are going to face dire consequences for such action. And it is not the best for Nigeria, because we are going to get into the list of high risk nations. And then,
Senator, sorry, because of time, if you will go straight to tell Nigerians why the bill is being delayed, because there is a bill moved for NFIU to be independent of the EFCC, and we understand that the EFCC has agreed to this. What exactly is delaying this movement or the passage of this bill?
Well, thank you for that. You see, the Senate passed the NFIU bill, and we waited for the House of Representatives to do so. We did our own last year before we commenced our annual vacation. This year, early January, the House of Reps passed their own brand of NFIU. And we had some disagreements. And normally in legislative practice, when you have disagreements, there is a conference of the House of Reps and the Senate to look at the issues where we have disagreement. And then we sort out those areas and then come up with something that will be a common ground for both houses, and then will be passed and then communicated to Mr. President for his assent. We have done that. The House of Reps is in the House of Reps there, the committee chairman there is dragging his feet. You know, he's not agreeing to certain things we agree, that was the common ground of emphasis. The one is domiciliation, you know, and the independence of the FIU, the total independence of the FIU. So the Senate version is that it's going to be in the central bank. It's going to be domiciled in the central bank. He himself went to the House of Reps and convinced them to put it in the EFCC. And we said that was the basis for suspension. So you can't continue going to EFCC and continue doing the same thing, repeatedly against the expectations of the international community, the 156-member Egmont Group financial FIUs. So we said we disagreed. And then that led to the leadership of the Senate and House of Reps to have a meeting. They had their meetings again and came out from that meeting and asked us that they have settled the issues, that we should go back. For 2 occasions now, I've invited this man to come for a conference. He wasn't forthcoming. And that made me to go to the floor of the Senate today and say, look, in case Nigerians think that the Senate is complicit in this effort, that the Senate is not part of it. We have already agreed that this is what we're going to do. And not until the House of Reps decides to come to the tables, the conference room, we can't do anything. Because you can't come with one hand.
Senator, just for a moment,
where we are now, presently.
The EFCC is in the middle of it. For a government that wants to fight corruption, the EFCC has been at the center of all of this. Let's ask the EFCC what this possible looming disaster to Nigeria in terms of corruption fight could mean. Wilson Owajeren is the spokesperson of the EFCC. He joins us via telephone right now. Many thanks, Mr. Owajeren, for your time on the program. What is the implication of this for the EFCC? What is the fear of the agency if the worst happen at the Egmont Group meeting, which will commence on the 11th of March?
Well, thank you very much, Shehu. Thank you for having me. I think it is very important not to put the nation and ordinary Nigerians in panic mode. The kind of apocalyptic scenario being painted by some individuals regarding the NFIU and Egmont Group suspension reminds me of the host concerning the 20,000 computer breakdown that we were told many years ago. A lot of people do not understand how the NFIU and the Egmont Group operate. And so we are being told that all the financial system will come to collapse, come to an end, will not be able to use credit card, will not be able to do financial transactions unless the law is passed and they return to Egmont Group with that law tomorrow. I don't want to preempt what the outcome of Egmont Group plenary will be, but I think Egmont Group does not exist en masse. My worry with Nigerian journalists is that nobody has taken the pain to even contact the Egmont Group and find out, is it true that tomorrow or whenever the Egmont Group is going to meet on the 11th, Nigeria was going to be expelled? That is the question any investigative journalist should ask.
But we here, Mr. Owajeren, Mr. Owajeren, if I may quickly tell you that we here have confirmed that there will be a vote. That vote could determine the outcome. It's a possibility. We here have confirmed here at Channels Television. That we can tell you.
Shehu, the starting point is this. Nigeria was suspended for some reasons. The reasons Egmont Group gave for suspending Nigeria, by my own knowledge, is that the question that NFIU does not have operational and financial autonomy. Those were the two main reasons for which Nigeria was suspended. Since that suspension, government has taken steps to address those two key reasons. Financial autonomy has been granted to the NFIU. The distinguished method there can confirm to you that the NFIU this year, for the first time in its history, went to the National Assembly to defend his budget before our senators, before members of the House of Representatives.
Okay. Mr. Wajar, we must leave it at that. Thank you so much for your time. Let's allow the senator to give us a final, his closing thoughts on this. The solution to this disagreement, Senator Utazi, where we think we might be headed in the coming days. You just have a few seconds to round off on this one.
Well, it's very, very important that my friend Wajure says something here. Now, I'll read from the Egmont Group, the Egmont Group of FIUs, what they said. And I read a paragraph that concerns Nigeria. The heads of FIU made a decision by consensus to suspend the membership status of the NFIU Nigeria, following repeated failures on the part of the FIU to address concerns regarding the protection of confidential information, specifically related to the status of suspicious transaction report details and the information derived from the international exchanges, as well as concerns on the legal basis and clarity of NFIU's independence from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The measure will remain in force until immediate corrective actions are implemented. The NFIU Nigeria is now excluded from all Egmont Group events and activities. And this is the situation. You know, and this is very, very clear for anybody who wants to understand. So there is no argument about this. So we want all the people who are putting hands in this issue to remove their hands in it and allow things to be. Allow Nigerians to move. We have had enough. The other day we just had the issue of the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. Tomorrow we want to get into another one. So we don't want to get into those for the wrong reasons. It's not the best for the country.
All right, Senator Utazi
is putting around this issue to remove the hands and allow the ship of state to move.
Thank you so much, Umos. Thank you indeed for your time on the program. Senator Chukwuka Utazi, the chairman, Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption. Thank you so much for your time tonight. We'll take a break. But when we come back, we switch gears. And this time around, we'll be talking about what is illegal for a public office holder, for example, a senator who has been a former governor or a minister who has been a former governor to be earning a pension and getting a salary. That's next on the program, everyone. Don't go anywhere.